Hi, how are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Is it Stephen or Stefan?
Stephen. I
Stephen.
blame Steph Curry for that question. Stephen is E-N, Stefan is A-N, and it's Steph Curry's dad because
How
it's
much,
spelled E-N and he called him Stefan. Ruined it for us.
This is the star of the series, Art Detectives. It's a new Acorn TV original series. It follows two art-loving detectives who solve murders connected to the world of art and antiques. Let's talk about this series, Stephen. Talk about it.
I play a detective called Mick Palmer. Um, it's based on a real life department within the British police force. It's the smallest department in the whole of the UK. It's three people. In our drama, it's one person, my character Mick, and his job is to uncover frauds when they are suspected, or to, if there's a theft, to try and work out where that theft will have traveled to. It's a very private market, so there's a lot of intricacies that are involved in finding these things when they go missing. And it's multiple millions, as you can imagine. Um, he his the interesting wrinkle within the drama is that his father is a world famous art forger, and they are estranged until he comes back into his son's life. And obviously, his son has taken a very, very different route to the one that his father took, much to the father's chagrin. And then in the first episode, he meets a young police constable called Shazia Malik, played by the lovely Nina Singh, and she sort of becomes a surrogate daughter to him. And we also learn from his father that there was a previous relationship where he had a sort of stepdaughter, and that ended, and he lost the connection to his stepdaughter. So Nina's character Shazia sort of becomes this this character that he sort of cares about in a paternal way. And we see, thefts of Vermeers, we see Saxon Viking hordes dug up, we see wine that's been faked, we see Titanic artifacts, all sorts of things.
Wine that has been faked. I like that. That's interesting. So,
Yes.
how much research did you have to do on this to be a part of this, to be the
Well, it's a
character?
good question, James. And the interesting thing is, how you hear about something and then you sort of look it up on the computer and then you sort of work out this world that you never ever knew about. There is a mountain of this stuff that just once you start excavating, you learn about these famous forgers going all the way back to the time of Michelangelo, um, to Rembrandt, to the 19th century. Very, very famous artists that had peers at the time that were painting like them, or people in sort of the south of France in the early 1920s who were forging all sorts of things. And what you have to do to be a forger is find canvas, the frame that the canvas is on, brushes from the period, paint from the period, varnish from the period, because if you don't have those, it's an instantly obvious thing that it's a fake. But a really, really good fake is very, very hard to detect, because if it's done properly with historical artifacts, then it's very hard to tell which is the real one.
Did you get an opportunity to talk to any of the three officers in that one unit about
That
what's
is a
going on?
great question. I didn't. And I was, it's one of those things I always try to do that. But this was such a hit the ground running. I was doing another job at the time, and I finished that job and I went straight to Belfast for 3 months to do this. And we were up and running like that. So it was really on this one, because usually I try to do my due diligence and speak to as many people as I can. But on this one, I just had to dive in and create this character.
You know what I loved about your character more than anything else, and I'm in sales and I do this, but particularly in sales, I like the way you read people, especially the constable that you met. He's a little bit of a, yeah, right. Talk
Yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah. I thank you for that. It was really nice to play somebody who is quite authentic. He's a little bit broken emotionally, so consequently makes him useless with women. Um, but it's I don't get to play nice people very often. Literally you know in the last 5 months, I've played two very very nasty psychopathic type characters, which I've done a lot of in my career. So it's actually really nice to be investigating somebody for instead of being the one being investigated.
that sounds cool. I've been speaking with Stephen Moyer. He's the star of the new Acorn TV original series, Art Detectives. And you gotta watch the first episode because Stephen pours the perfect cup of tea. I
Yes, he
have to give
does.
him that. Thank you for
Yeah, that was
explaining.
a little detail that I added, James. That I was like, let's make him a tea expert as
I
well.
like the way you did that.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.